In the last class, we have seen how the DFT operation can be done over images. And also you have checked defined filter characteristics, low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass, band reject. So defined filter characteristics we have seen, and we have seen that filter maximum filter peak values comes in the low frequency ranges, and whatever the spikes noise we get, that we get in the high frequency ranges. So simply, if we use a low pass filter, we can consider the simply low frequency ranges and remove the high frequency. As a result, we get that all the boundary portions of an image is getting blurred. And if we do the opposite thing, means if we simply use the high frequency ranges by avoiding the low frequencies, then we can see that the boundary portions of an image is getting that we are getting, that is extracted, and keeping all the low frequency ranges nullified. So that we have checked in the DFT operation, using filter. Now, one important part of DFT is that we are doing the operation considering the frequency, and as well as considering the complex data. Whatever the data we are considering here, the data are complex. That means we are getting a real value and a imaginary value. So obviously, simply if we multiply two complex data, that means phone number of real multiplication we can see here. Means we can check for one complex multiplication, phone number of real multiplication is happening there. So if we consider the overall multiplications, that multiplication will be multiplied by 4 in accordance with the real multiplication. So that means it is increasing the complexity. So there is another technique so that we can reduce the complexity. The technique is that DCT, that is a discrete cosine transform. Discrete cosine transform. What is happening here? Whatever the parameter of the transfer function we are considering, all the parameters are real. So if the transfer function parameters are real, then whenever the multiplication will be happen to the transfer function, what will happen? Simply the real multiplication will happen. There should not be any imaginary value, should not be any complex value. So obviously the complexity is getting reduced by 4 times if we consider the DFT. So if we use the DCT, obviously the complexity will be reduced considering to the DFT. Okay. There is one limitation that I will explain you after how digital process is going to happen. After that, I am going to explain that limitation. Before that, before that, simply I am going to write the formula to calculate the discrete cosine transform of an image of size m cross n. One image that has a size m cross n, and the image is defined as f xy. Suppose then the discrete cosine transform or the DCT of fxy is f pq, suppose, or you can consider any value f uv, you can consider. So the value of f pq that you can calculate value of f pq that you can calculate as alpha p alpha q summation of x equal to 0 to m minus 1 summation of y equal to 0 to n minus 1 f y cos of pi multiplied by 2x plus 1 into p by 2m, that is the size, and that is also multiplied by cos pi 2y plus 1 multiplied by q by 2n. So that is the formula to calculate the DCT of an image fxy which has a size of m cross n. Okay, you can check here the transformation matrix. Simply if we reply f pq is the fxy multiplied by the transformation matrix, then you can check the transformation matrix is dependent on alpha p alpha q, that cost value and that cost value. And
স্যার দেবজিৎ মনে হয় একটুখানি লবিতে আছে, আপনি পারলে একটু জয়েন করাতে পারলে করান।
না, লবিতে তো কেউ নেই।
আমাকে মেসেজ করলো, একটু তাহলে হোল্ড করো, আমি বলছি আবার।
এসেছে। Okay, so that is the formula to calculate the discrete cosine transform of an image, where the value of alpha p defines as the 1 by root m for p equal to 0. Whenever you will get p equal to 0, you will get the value 1 by root m, and root of 2 by over root of 2 by m for 1 less than equal to p less than equal to m minus 1. So except p equal to 0, all the values of alpha p will be defined by root of 2 by m for other values. Okay, and alpha q defines as 1 by root n for q equal to 0, and simply 2 by root over 2 by n for others, for the value of q 1 to n minus 1. So these are the value of alpha p and alpha q. So এখানে কোনো calculation, there is no calculation part here. Simply you have to keep in mind that formula. That formula defines the discrete cosine transform of an image fxy. The size of fxy is m cross n. If the size of fxy is m cross m or n cross n, then obviously alpha p and alpha q will become the same. Means if this is n cross n, then alpha p is also 1 by root n, alpha q is also 1 by root n for p equal to 0, q equal to 0. Okay, So this is the formula to calculate the DFT, DCT, discrete cosine transform, and the inverse DCT, obviously from here if you calculate fxy you will get the inverse DCT, and the expression for inverse DCT is summation of p equal to 0 to m minus 1, summation of q equal to 0 to n minus 1, alpha p, alpha q, f pq cos pi 2x plus 1 p by 2m and cos pi 2y plus 1 q by 2n. So for this case, alpha p and alpha q will be within the summation, as the summation varies for p and q, and the formula to calculate or to get the image or the simply transformed image fxy, original image fxy from the transformed image fpq by using that formula. So obviously the value of alpha p and alpha q will be the same. The value of alpha p and alpha q is that. And here obviously xy will vary. In that case xy will vary from 0 to m minus 1, and y will be vary from 0 to n minus 1, and for this case pq will vary obviously 0 to m minus 1 and q also 0 to n minus 1. So these are the two formula to calculate the discrete cosine transform, and in that two formula the common part we can check alpha p alpha q cos pi 2x plus 1 p by 2m and that cos part. So these two are the common part for both equation, and these two common part are basically responsible to generate the transformation matrix, and you can check that the transformation matrix is completely real. There is no complex part in that transformation matrix. Okay, so what you have to do, simply you have to write that expression to create your transformation matrix of an to create the transformation matrix of a discrete cosine transform, and keep in mind that transformation matrix is getting fixed. You not need to change the matrix. The matrix is alpha p alpha q cos of pi 2x plus 1 p by 2m cos of pi 2y plus 1 q by 2n. So that is fixed. So in the MATLAB, if you can able to write that code for the equation alpha phi alpha q cos of this and this, so you can generate the transformation matrix. Now matter is that depending on that formula, if you generate the transformation matrix, you have to generate for a specific size. For specific size means suppose we are considering square size. You may not consider the square size also. I am considering square size 8 cross 8. means m value is 8 and n value is also 8. That m8 n8 means the matrix that is called the transformation matrix is size of 8 cross 8. So obviously the fxy, that is your input image, should not be of size 8 cross 8. That size may be anything. Suppose 5112 cross 5112. So you have a 5112 cross 5112 matrix, and with respect to that you have a transformation matrix of 8 cross 8. So obviously you have to multiply that transformation matrix with that fxy to get the transformed image fpq. So how will it happen? Obviously in a direct process it will not happen, because 512 cross 512 matrix will not be multiplied by 8 cross 8 matrix. So what you have to do, simply you have to split that 512 plus 512 matrix by a set of 8 cross 8 matrix. Keep in mind. So there may be number of sets. So each set will have a 8 cross 8 matrix. And each 8 cross 8 matrix will be multiplied by that transformation matrix of size 8 cross 8, and you will get FPQ of size 8 cross 8, and that will be a set, not a single value. That will be a set of 8 cross 8 size of FPQ.
স্যার এই সাইজগুলো একবার বলে দেবেন স্যার একটু আরেকবার।
Okay. So how to calculate the transformation matrix is clear now?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Okay. Now matter is that I am going to calculate the transformation matrix. Suppose M cross N, the transformation matrix, and that matrix we are considering a square matrix, and the square matrix size is 8 cross 8. Okay, that will be provided by us. That will be provided by us. So obviously we cannot take a larger size. Obviously you have to take a smaller size so that the complexity is reduced. So we will take, suppose, 8 cross 8 transformation matrix, and we are going to use that transformation matrix over an image fxy. The size of fxy, image size, is suppose 512 cross 512. Okay, so what you need to do, that is your transformation matrix, suppose defined by T. So fpq will be what? fpq will be T into fxy into T complement, as we know from the previous classes. That is the formula. So that T is of size 8 cross 8, that fxy is size of 512 cross 512. So how it is going to happen? How the multiplication will happen? 8 cross 8 multiplication 512 plus 512 will not be done in a straight cut way. So what we need to do, we need to split that 512 plus 512 matrix by a set of 8 cross 8 matrix. That 512 cross 512 matrix will be divided to a set of 8 cross 8 matrix. So suppose first 8 number of rows and 8 number of columns are considered to create the first set 8 cross 8. So number of columns remain the 512 minus 8, and number of rows remain 512 minus 8, like that. Again we are considering next 8 cross 8 matrix as like that, and we are representing the 512 by 512 matrix by a set of 8 cross 8 matrix, and we are multiplying that transformation matrix to each set. So 8 cross 8 matrix transformation matrix will be multiplied by to that 8 cross 8 matrix, which is a set of the input image, and we will get a transformed matrix of size 8 cross 8 for this case. And for the next 8 cross 8, again it will be multiplied to the transformation matrix, and we will get the transform matrix of 8 cross 8. So step by step, if we multiply to the each set, we will get the transformation matrix by a set of 8 cross 8 matrix also. So in that way, the DCT multiplication is going to happen depending on the transformation matrix of size 8 cross 8. Suppose. Clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার ক্লিয়ার
Okay. So the disadvantage of that process is that whenever we are considering the image, that image over the image, the block processing is happening. Means total image is splitted in a number of or set of block, or each block of size of 8 cross 8. So block process is happening. So as a result, whenever you will apply DCT by considering that block process, you will get a structure like that. A structure like that. You can see that is your the input image. Anyway, the left part is the input image, and right part is the amplified version, or simply the zoomed version of the input image. Zoomed version of the discrete cosine transformed image. And due to the zooming, you can see that a small block you can check over the image. Can you view that part? Is that visible, that small block?
Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ স্যার
Yes, sir.
These blocks are we are getting because that blocks are the subset of the image set. Means that input image in the left side is splitted into number of blocks, and over that block, step by step, all the operation has done, and due to that, in the output image or in the transformed image, you are getting that blocks. Okay, so this is the disadvantage, and this is basically shown in the JPEG format. Whenever you will consider a JPEG image, and if we apply the DCT over that image, you can see that type of result. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of DCT. Clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
স্যার ওই মোবাইলের কোনো ছবিও যখন বড় করে দেখি এরকম ভাবে পিক্সেল ব্রেক হয়, এটা কি ওই ডিসিটির জন্যই হয় তাহলে?
এক্স্যাক্টলি। তুই যখন whenever যখন তুই মোবাইলে ধর হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে একটা ইমেজ পাঠাচ্ছিস, ইমেজটা দেখবি অটোমেটিক্যালি কম্প্রেস হয়ে যায়, তাই তো?
হয়ে যায়।
সেই কম্প্রেশনটা সিম্পলি কিছুই না, তোর ইমেজটার উপর ডিসক্রিট কোসাইন ট্রান্সফর্ম অ্যাপ্লাই করা হয়, যার ফলে ইমেজটা কম্প্রেস হয়, এবং তার ডিসিটির এফেক্টটা অ্যাজ এ ব্লক ওই ইমেজটার উপর আসে। ওকে, so basically discrete cosine transform is used also to compress the image or in the image compression part, and basically DCT used over the JPEG image. Over others image it will not be applicable. It will be applicable. For that case we need to change some variable that I will tell you in the future classes, but now keep in mind, whenever we will consider the DCT, we will consider the JPEG image, and we can see that type of changes happening, and also we can see that a image compression is happening. How the image compression is happening in detail, I will go there step by step. Okay, so that is the result you can see. And what is happening to the transformation matrix if we represent it in a block that you can see. Just wait. This is the MATLAB code where actually I have written the main equation, the equation that I have already told you, the equation that alpha phi alpha q cos of pi into that equation. That equation I have written over the MATLAB formula, and where m and n is considered as 8 and 8, so it's basically a 8 cross 8 image, that is a square image, and over that I have written that code. I'm not going to in detail in code, just was that equation. That equation defines the simply the overall equation, that is alpha p multiplied by alpha q cos of pi p into 2x minus 1 plus 1 by 2m, means that formula. Okay, so that formula I have developed here, and depending on that formula, if we write that code, see, that is your transformation matrix. Can all of you see?
Yes, sir.
So that is your transformation matrix. What you can understand from that transformation matrix is that the leftmost part, means the position 0 0, defines a complete DC value, and each block defines a pixel position. Keep in mind, so it's a 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 cross 8 matrix. Okay, 8 cross 8 transformation matrix, and each position defines the each pixel position. So this is the 0 0 pixel position, next is the 0 1 pixel position, like that. So 0 0 pixel position defines basically the DC coefficient, as here the frequency is 0, so you will get so only the real value, that is why it is called the DC coefficient. Okay, and after that, whatever the coefficient you are getting or whatever the values you are getting, all are AC. That's why you are getting the changes. The changes are showing the changes in frequency. Okay, the changes are showing the changes in frequency. If we go to the left to right, you can see the changes of frequency is getting more thinner, means changes of frequency is very fast. If we go from left to right, means for the position 0 comma 1, the change in frequency, and for the position 0 comma 5, and for the position 0 comma 8, the change in frequency are not same. You can check it, that frequency are changing in a faster way. Similarly, from upper to lower, if we go, you can check the change in frequency, and the change in frequency is in a faster way. So in that way, the matrix is formed. So that is your transformation matrix. Okay, now you need to apply that transformation matrix over the image, and if we apply that transformation matrix over that image in the left side, you will get the image that is found in the right side. Okay, so I think it is clear what is the structure of a transformation matrix. So it is like that. Now we can calculate the discrete cosine transform by two methods. One is called the transformation matrix approaches, which is that method. and another is called the FFT based approaches. Okay, where the fast Fourier transform will be used. So in the transformation matrix approaches, simply you will consider a square matrix, 8 cross 8, 16 cross 16 or 4 cross 4, like that. We will consider a square matrix, and depending on that square matrix we will get our output like that. Suppose we are considering m cross n square matrix, m cross m, then the transformation matrix depending on that will be like that. The value will be 1 by m for p equal to 0 and q 0 to m minus 1. P0 and Q0 to n minus 1. M minus 1 means what? Simply P defines the row, obviously, FPQ, that is your output transformed image. So P defines the row, Q defines the column. So 0th row means the first row, and Q value 0 to m minus 1 means the all the columns. Means total first row that you are getting, all values will be 1 by root m. So 1 by root m, 1 by root m, like that all the values you will get in the first row transformation matrix. Okay, and except that part, you will get value 2 by m, the same as I have considered alpha p and alpha q. For that case, as the matrix size is m cross m, so alpha p, alpha q both will be defined by simply one matrix T, and value will be over root of 2 by m cos pi 2q plus 1 multiplied by p by 2m, where simply p will vary from 1 to m minus 1, as already we have considered p equal to 0. So p will vary from 1 to m minus 1. For each value of p, q will vary from 0 to m minus 1. Means except the first row, all the values of the matrix will be defined by the value root of 2 by m cos of that value. So that is your transformation matrix. So depending on that matrix, you can do your discrete cosine transform, and then simply what you will get, if PQ, that you will get as the transformation matrix multiplied by image fxy multiplied by transformation matrix transpose. Okay, and similarly from here, if you calculate fxy, you will get transformation matrix transpose multiplied by fpq multiplied by transformation matrix. Why is that? Keep in mind that transformation matrix is real, there is no imaginary part. So our formula is V equal to A U A inverse. Okay, so if A is completely real part, then A inverse we can write A conjugate transpose. We have seen that The matrix is unitary, so A inverse defined as A conjugate transpose, and conjugate of real part is same. There should not be any change. So A conjugate will be A. So obviously you can write A transpose. That is the reason in the place of T inverse we have considered T transpose. Similarly, that will be, because whenever you are calculating U from here, you will get the value T transpose depending on that part. Okay, so that will be your two formula to calculate the transformed image, and from the transformed image to get the original image. Okay, so that is the advantage. There is no complex part. So clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Any question after that? যদি কোনো কোশ্চেন থাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারিস। Okay, now the total process, whatever I am telling you, that transformation matrix is defined, simply you can get, if we use DCTMTX, means the DCT matrix. If you consider DCTMTX, you will get the DCT transformation matrix, and DCTMTX 8 defines a transformation matrix by size of 8 cross 8. If you write 16, you will get 16 cross 16. So this is your theoretical part. Whenever you will do the transformation or the discrete cosine transform separately, you don't need to consider that part, because already that part is done inside of DCT MTX, means that part for a size, for same size m cross n, for same size m equal to 8 n equal to 8, that operation is done here. Okay, only one change is there, is that in that operation we are considering a simple value 8 cross 8 that we cannot change when it is fixed. But here, if we write 16 in the place of 8, you can get 16 cross 16 also. So whenever we will consider the discrete cosine transform, keep in mind we are going to use that DCTMTX, that MATLAB code. Okay, so that is your transformation matrix approaches. And next is the simply FFT based approach. The same operation is happening. You will get a constant value, over that you will get your matrix, and the FFT will be done. All of you know how to calculate the fast Fourier transform of an image in the with respect to the butterfly diagram. All of you know. So depending on that structure, FFT will be done, and total process of FFT will be done by the MATLAB code DCT2. If we use the DCT2, suppose F is your input image, F is your input image, then DCT2 of F, that will be simply define the discrete cosine transform of the input image F. Okay, so directly we can use DCT2 for FFT based approach. So these are the two approach we can use to calculate the discrete cosine transform. Now I have told you that discrete cosine transform can be used to compress the image. Basically, the DCT of an image defines a very good energy compaction capability. A very good energy compaction capability means what? Very good energy compaction capability. What is the meaning of that? Have you any idea? Any idea? No idea?
লস কম হয়, মানে কোনো নয়েজ টয়েজ কম আছে এরকম?
ডেফিনেটলি লস কম হয়। কেন বলতো? ভেরি গুড
কম্প্যাকশনটা ভালো সেই জন্য, মানে কম্প্যাক্টনেসটা বেশি।
কম্প্যাক্টনেস বেশি। ওকে, অনেকটাই কাছাকাছি গেছিস। ম্যাটার ইজ দ্যাট whenever you are defining one image, that image should have some information. Any image, suppose that circle is an image of size, suppose m cross m or n cross n, whatever. So that image has some information, that the information that are defining it's a circle. That information of the image are stored for a very few values. Simply, if we simply represent the matrix of that image F, and that matrix information will be stored in a very few values or in a very few data. Suppose in that number of data the matrix value information are stored. Means if we can run only that part of data, keeping all other zero, keeping all other data or all other pixel values zero, only keeping that much of information, you will get that image. Obviously visually, whenever you are removing that part means you are removing some information, but in visual perspective there should not be such change. But matter is that you have a matrix like that defines that image circle, and that matrix only suppose x, or simply suppose matrix each position defines as p1 p2 p3 like that, pm minus p1 থেকে start হয়ে যাবে pm, and it is also pm like that. Okay, so suppose only that amount of pixel contains the maximum information of that image. So keeping only that number of pixels, if we make all the pixels value are zero, whatever the result you will get, visually you can check it that the result also showing the same image. But as a result, as we are making that pixel intensities at zero, so we are reducing that matrix size. Here, if we can make all the intensities as zero, we are reducing the matrix size. So overall, that image defined by suppose fx, that image will be a lesser size considering to that image. Clear or not?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
আরেকবার বলবো?
আরেকবার বলুন স্যার।
Okay. Very good energy compaction means that one image information, maximum information of an image will remain within few number of pixels. not the throughout the pixels. Throughout the pixels you will get informations, but maximum information you will get within a few number of pixels. That is very good energy compaction capability. If that capability exists, that means within a very few pixels you can represent the maximum information of the image, and other pixels will define the other very few informations available. Okay, so as a result, if you get one image that has a very good energy compaction capability, over that image, if we calculate the DCT by considering only that pixel positions which contains the maximum information, keeping all other values reduced, I have given you here that we are reducing to 0. That may not be happen, reducing some value. If we can able to reduce the other information to the some values, so what will happen? Size will reduce. Okay, so if we are using DCT over an image, that image has the very good energy compaction capability, and due to using the DCT, we are reducing the size. Okay.
Okay.
Just check it. See, we have considered one image in the matrix format of size I given here 8 cross 8. Okay, whose first value is 45, 18, 47, 41, like that. Now, whenever we are doing the simple DCT formula, we are using simple DCT formula DCT2 over that image I. The answer that we are getting like that. The maximum information you are getting in the 0th position, and other information that you can say that somehow reducing, somehow getting the maximum value, and somehow all other information you can see that reducing. That is 41, that becomes 11. Okay, that is 47, so that becomes 14. Like that. What we are doing, we are reducing the information of the image, reducing the size of the image. So whatever the size, bit size, obviously matrix size is not the matrix size, it's not the 8 cross 8, I am defining the bit size. So whatever the bit size of the image I will be, the bit size of the image or bit size of the DCT, discrete cosine transformed image of I, will be less. Okay. এখানে বিষয় এরকম দেখাচ্ছে না। Anyway, is that clear whatever I am trying to say? Now check it. One simple example where we can compress the image. That is one example or the MATLAB code. আচ্ছা সবাই শুনতে পাচ্ছিস তো? কোনো রেসপন্স পাচ্ছি না তো, শুনতে পাচ্ছিস তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ স্যার পাচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, okay, thank you. Here is a MATLAB code The MATLAB code for image compression using FFT based DCT utilizing the MATLAB function DCT2 means we are using a MATLAB function DCT2 to compress a image. That technique is we are considering the FFT based approach. Okay, for this case what I am doing, I am considering gray level image. We can consider the binary image also, the RGB image also, but for that case we need to consider a huge number of pixels variation. That is the reason I am considering here the gray level image, which has a pixel variation from 0 to 255. Okay, so complexity will be less and you can understand it also very easily. So simply first three code already you know, clear all, close all, CSC. That code defines that you can choose any image from the path. Simply if we run up to that code, okay, one path will open. So from that path you can choose any image that you can choose, or simply if you don't want to do that, so simply you can write image equal to I am read of simply the path, as you know all. So both you can do here. I have done here to make it versatile, to choose the image different. Then next, if the image is RGB, then it is okay. If the image is gray level, then it is okay. If it is not gray level image, then you need to convert the image into gray level by defining RGB to gray. So that image IMG is RGB image, and we are converting that RGB image IMG to the gray image, and we are storing to the same value IMG. Now we are making DCT over the image. C equal to DCT2 double of IMG. Okay, so I am doing the DCT over the image IMG and I am storing at C. Keep in mind we are considering here double. What is the reason of choosing double is that whenever I am considering a gray level image IMG, that image is shown in the format UINT8. In that format the gray level image shows, and UINT8 format means that if you have a pixel information 100.3 and another pixel information 100.6, suppose, then UINT8 defines that pixel 100.3 by 100, means it does not consider the floating point, and 100.6 as the 101, it also does not consider the floating point. So UINT8 choose pixel values like that, so that the floating point number or the floating point value is rounded off. As a result, what is happening? Some error you are getting here, 0.3 number of error you are getting, because error loss is happening here. Your 0.4 number of error is happening here, that is error gain you are getting. So in that way, simply if you do the UINT8 sorry, if you do the FFT over the image UINT8, you will get errors. So what we need to do, simply the image that you are considering, make it double. If you make it double, then whatever the image value or the whatever the each pixel value, it remain like that. So if the pixel value for suppose position P11, for P11 position pixel value is 100.3, if we use double of IMG, it will remain at 100.3. It will not consider 100. So that is the reason That is the reason we are considering double of the image, so that there should not be any error in discrete cosine transform. Clear?
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
আচ্ছা, কোথাও আটকালে আমাকে বলবি, হ্যাঁ?
হ্যাঁ স্যার অবশ্যই।
Then I am show log of abs of c, means the absolute value of c we are going to show, because in DCT you have seen that you are getting positive value as well as in the negative value. Simply if we run that, see, if we do the DCT of that image I, you are getting positive, all the real, but positive and negative. Negative value does not affect the image, so you don't need to consider the negative value. Just you need to consider the magnitude value. That is the reason whenever we will do the DCT, we will consider the absolute value. Okay. So that is the reason we are considering the absolute value and the log. As it is in the frequency response format, so whenever you will display the discrete cosine transform image, you have to use the log. If you don't use log, it will show a completely black screen. So whenever you will try to show the coefficient of discrete cosine transform or discrete frequency transform or any transform, then you must have to use the log. In the log format, you have to display the image coefficient. So simply, if we display abs of c or absolute value of c, that will define the DCT2 of the image, of the input image. And DCT2 of the input image means that will show the discrete cosine transform coefficients without truncation, means here we are not cancelling any values. We will cancel the values, some values that are zeros, that are very less, that we are going to change to 0. Suppose 2 point, here you can see that one value we are getting 2.5408. We are trying to make it 0 because that pixel contains less number of information. So if we make it 0, there should not be any change over the, should not be any visual change over the image. So that type of pixels that we are getting will make all 0. Okay. So up to that we are not doing that part. Up to that we are not making 0. Simply we are displaying the coefficients. And color map means we are displaying the color map format. You can check it from net. It's simply a color map format. Gray map format is there, color map format. So that format, in that format we are displaying the image coefficient, DCT coefficient. And if we do that, suppose we are considering a image paper gray, that image, that is your DCT coefficients. That image defines the DCT coefficients. So many pixels are there, that is the reason it is shown like that. If we make it zoom, you can see that each and every point, and in the block format, small block format, you can see here, and each and every pixel position defines a intensity level. The red or the darkest intensity level here will be the maximum intensity. From the bar you can see intensity level depending on the color. The red color intensity defines the intensity level of 8. So if we choose that pixel intensity level will be 8. If we choose that pixel intensity level will be more than 8, some value of 9 suppose. If we choose yellow pixel, all the yellow pixels intensity level will be 2, like that. Blue pixel, green pixel 0, and blue pixels intensity level is reducing. The maximum number of blue pixels means the intensity level is minimum. Is that clear? The DCT coefficient, how we can define the DCT coefficients?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ক্লিয়ার
Okay, so overall, if we check overall coefficient structure, in the right side, leftmost right side, you can check the maximum intensity levels are there. Reddish part means the maximum intensity level. So reddish part are in the leftmost part. Maximum intensity level are there. So if we write a MATLAB code so that only that intensity level will be shown and all other intensity levels will be towards the lower side, then overall image size will reduce. Okay, so to do that, what we are doing, suppose we are writing c equal to 0. C is what? C defines a matrix. For each and every pixels, C has a value. So C is a matrix. So the value of C we are making equal to 0. For what condition? Where the absolute value of C is less than 20. Okay, absolute value of C is less than 20. Here, whatever the intensity value which has an intensity value of less than 20, all the intensity value we are making to directly 0. If you have intensity value is greater than 20, that will remain, other will be 0. That we are doing means what? In that line the compression is happening. If we change that value from 20 to 10, you will get another compression level. If we change the value from 20 to 30, you will get another compression level. So that is the main compression line, keep in mind. Here the compression is happening, means we are making the all the pixels that has intensity level less than 20 is 0. And then again I am displaying that value. I am displaying that C. So that C will define the image where the compression is happening. So you can check it, you can consider, or you can simply compare two images. See, first image is without compression, second image is after compression. Means what? Are you getting any idea from these two images? Any idea? No idea?
যেটা মিনিমাম ছিল সেটাই তো এখন বেশি হয়ে গেছে। আমার এই মানে বিফোর ট্রাঙ্কেশনে তো আমার ব্লু পার্টটা খুব মিনিমাম ছিল।
হ্যাঁ, means what? So means in the matrix maximum values are reduced. Maximum values are getting blue, means what? Maximum values are reducing, remaining only few number of pixels in the left uppermost position that consist of the high range of intensity. Only we are keeping that number of pixels that consists the maximum information, keeping all the values of information reduced. Means all the information in the left side are reducing by a huge number of level. You can check it. If you can compare the bar with the image, you can understand that.
সেই বারটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি ডিপেন্ড করছে না ইন্টেন্সিটিটা?
Intensity, not frequency. Intensity depend.
তাহলে অ্যাবসলিউট ভ্যালু মানেটা কি নেগেটিভ ছাড়া না মানে
নেগেটিভ ছাড়া?
নেগেটিভ, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, মড ভ্যালু টাইপস,
মড ভ্যালু, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
ঠিক আছে। So simply if we display that image, considering to that image coefficient in the right side, whatever the image you will get, the image will be of compressed size. Okay, so image coefficient you have got, that is in the frequency response, that is in the frequency format. So what you have to do, you have to do the inverse DFT or inverse DCT. The procedure is same. You will do the Fourier transform. After Fourier transform, in the frequency domain you will do your operation, whatever the operation you want to do. After that, again you will do the inverse Fourier transform to regenerate the input image. So here we are doing the same. First we are converting into Fourier transform, that is the discrete cosine transform, DCT. Then we are doing the operation here over the frequency response. Okay, and after that we are again inverse DCT we are doing to generate the time domain response. Okay, so over the C, that C, if we do the IDCT2, it will be stored, and CT, that will be defined the time domain response. Here using I am right image, original image JPG, quality 100, means we are fixing the quality and we are fixing the size of the image for both to compare. If we change the size of the image, then obviously the bit size also will change. Size of the image means size in defines by row by column. Okay, so obviously if we want to compare the bit size, you have to fix this. So we are fixing this into the 100, and we are simply storing the EIMG, that is your input image, in the name of original image .jpg format, and CT as a DCT compressed image. Keep in mind, CT is uint8 CT. We are not writing directly I am right CT, as here I am writing I am right image. Can you tell me why? Why you are considering uint8 CT?
তো সিটিটাতে তো ইনক্লুড করে দিয়েছি আইডিসিটি টুটা, সিটির উপর নিচ্ছি।
তাহলে আমি সিটিটাকে uint8 লিখেছি কেন? IMG-টা তো লিখিনি uint8, সিটিতে কেন লিখলাম uint8?
ওইটাই কম্প্যাক্ট ট্রান্সফরমেশন বলে?
না, we have written uint8 because in which format your CT has? You are making C double from uint8, you are making C double here. So the C that you are getting in the double format, not in the uint8 format. uint8 defines what? The round up value of the pixels. Double defines the floating point value. So now here C defines in the floating point value, where IMG defines in the double simply rounding up value, that is uint8 format, and C defines in the double format. So if C defines in the double format and you are doing inverse DCT over that double format image, so the image that you are getting from here is also in the double format. So what you have to do, that double format image we need to reconvert into the uint8 format, as the input image is in the uint8 format, so output image also you need to get in uint8 format. Clear or not?
আচ্ছা স্যার, এবার বুঝলাম।
So that is the reason whenever I am storing I am right, that code is used to store the image. So I am storing the image, the IMG we are storing in the simple format as it is already in the uint8 format, and as CT is in the double format, so we are converting it into the uint8 and then I am storing it. Okay, and I am so pair it is displaying the image and displaying the city. In the first column it is defined image, in the second column it is defined the city image. And if we run that code, before running that code, simply just so now simply we are running the code, overall code. We are considering that Pepper's gray label image. See, so these are the two coefficient image. So already I have told you. And if we display the image, left defines the original image, right defines the DCT compressed image. You can check it. There is certain simple minimum changes, but visually if you see it, near about same. If you consider the range, compression range is 20, so you are getting that. And as a result, you can see one is stored. As a result, you can see here input image is stored as a original dot image and output image is stored as the DCT compressed image. So now if you see, that is your DCT compressed image and that is your original image. So original image size defines, simply original image size defines 166 KB, you can check it, and DCT compressed image size defines 128 KB. That means compression is happening here. So if we consider 20, if we change that from 20 to 40 suppose, then what will happen? Simply if we run the same image, see, degradation of the image is getting more as we are compressing more. Compressing more means here some high information pixels is also reducing. That is the reason degradation is happening, and also as a result compression will be more. You can check, original image will be in the same size 166, compressed image will be there, see, 98.5 KB. So image is compressing, but as much as you compress, degradation will be high, because maximum compressing means maximum high information pixels are reducing. Clear?